In Salem, nothing ever goes according to plan, and the hospital fundraiser kicking off on Wednesday, April 23, is shaping up to be no exception. The day kicks off with high hopes and good intentions. The hospital's charity auction and street fair, set for the week of April 22 to 25, are buzzing with excitement, promising fun, glamour, and a hefty fundraising haul for a worthy cause. But this is Salem, and where good intentions go, chaos inevitably follows. Gabby, still simmering from the sting of JJ's recent accusations, decides she's not going to sit quietly and play the victim. True to her fiery nature, Gabby plans to make a public statement, and shake the foundations of Salem in the process. In a bold, attention-grabbing move, Gabby storms into the hospital charity auction and places a jaw-dropping $10,000 bid to win a date with none other than Alex. It's not simply about winning a date, it's about reclaiming control, asserting dominance, and proving that she refuses to be knocked down by anyone, especially not by JJ. The crowd buzzes with shock and intrigue as Gabby's name is called out, her bid standing out like a thunderclap in the room. Cameras flash, murmurs spread, and Gabby simply smirks, soaking in the chaos she's orchestrated. Of course, the money will aid the hospital's cause, but make no mistake, Gabby's real goal is to send a sharp, undeniable message. She's still standing, she's still powerful, and she's playing by her own rules. Behind the scenes, Gabby vents her seething frustration to Leo and Javi. Their conversations crackle with sarcasm and barely restrained rage, adding more gasoline to the already smoldering fire. With Leo's sharp wit and Javi's encouragement, Gabby's next moves might be even more daring than anyone expects. Meanwhile, outside amid the festivities of the street fair, a different kind of magic unfolds. Rachel Black, now portrayed by newcomer Alice Halsey, captures the hearts of everyone in attendance. Her wide-eyed wonder and infectious smile bring a fresh wave of hope and joy to a town often burdened by darkness. Rachel's playful spirit ignites the fairgrounds, and she's not alone. Thomas DiMera and Charlotte DiMera charm the crowd with their mischievous antics, darting between booths, giggling, and making unforgettable memories. Their innocent laughter weaves a stark contrast to the secretive, high-stakes games the adults around them are playing. For a few fleeting moments, Salem feels lighter, purer, a reminder of what's worth fighting for. Watching from a distance, Chad DiMera stands frozen in a swirl of emotions. Seeing Thomas and Charlotte bond so effortlessly with Kat Green stirs something deep within him. Kat's natural warmth, her instinctive way of connecting with his children, is a beacon to Chad's battered heart. It's a turning point he can't ignore. The grief for Abigail lingers, but in Kat's presence, there's a flicker of something new, a possibility he never thought he'd feel again. In a town built on lies and betrayals, the pure joy of Salem's youngest citizens offers a rare and precious reminder. Amid all the chaos, love and innocence still endure, if only for a moment. When it comes to matters of the heart, Chad DiMera has spent a long time behind carefully constructed walls. After the devastating loss of Abigail, Chad locked his heart away, believing he could never find that kind of love again, or perhaps, that he shouldn't even try. The guilt, the grief, the lingering loyalty to Abby's memory, it all made the idea of moving on feel like a betrayal. But lately, despite his best efforts to suppress it, something is shifting. And her name is Kat Green. Chad's growing bond with Kat is becoming impossible to ignore. It's not just attraction, it's deeper, more complicated, more real. It's the way Kat lights up around Thomas and Charlotte, fitting into their little world so naturally it almost seems destined. The way Thomas looks up at her with trust. The way Charlotte holds onto her hand, as if she's already part of the family. Watching these quiet moments, Chad feels something crack open inside him, something he thought had been sealed away forever. Still, old wounds aren't easily healed. Chad struggles internally, wrestling with guilt at even thinking about letting someone else in. He questions himself constantly. Is it too soon? Am I dishonoring Abigail's memory? Can I really survive loving again, and possibly losing again? The chemistry between Chad and Kat is undeniable, a steady, simmering tension that only grows stronger with every passing day. But this isn't a whirlwind soap romance sparked by impulse. It's a slow, tender build, filled with stolen glances, half-finished sentences, and lingering touches that say more than words ever could. Kat, for her part, isn't pushing. She sees Chad's pain. She respects his pace. She knows that real healing takes time, and she's willing to wait. But even patience has its limits. Sooner or later, Chad will have to choose: stay trapped in the past, or risk everything for the possibility of a future he never thought he'd deserve again. Fans craving an emotional, layered romance should prepare themselves, because this slow-burn connection between Chad and Kat is on a collision course with destiny. And if Chad can summon the courage to open his heart once more, it just might lead to a love story powerful enough to heal them both. Meanwhile, elsewhere in Salem, old wounds in the Kuriakis family are being ripped open yet again. Xander, never one to hold his tongue, seizes the opportunity to lash out at Philip, reopening years of resentment, rivalry, and unfinished business between them. Xander's words are sharp, laced with all the anger and jealousy he's bottled up for far too long. Every accusation feels like a punch aimed straight at Philip's most vulnerable spots. And Philip, equally stubborn and wounded, isn't about to stand there and take it. The tension crackles like a live wire between them, decades of betrayal, mistrust, and bitterness boiling dangerously close to the surface. Maggie Kuriakis, ever the heart of the family, steps in to play the peacemaker once more. She pleads with Xander to find it in his heart to show compassion, to remember that forgiveness is a gift, one he's been blessed to receive many times before. Maggie reminds him that holding on to anger only deepens the wounds that have already cost this family so much. But old habits die hard in Salem. Instead of mending fences, Xander may decide that distance is the only answer. Rumors suggest he could soon leave town for a while, choosing escape over reconciliation, in search of clarity, peace, and maybe even redemption. And as Xander makes that choice, the Kuriakis family will be left to pick up the pieces of a fractured legacy once again. So, what's coming next in Wednesday's highly anticipated episode of Days of Our Lives? Prepare yourselves, because the calm surface of Salem is about to be shattered. What was supposed to be a night of unity, laughter, and goodwill at the hospital fundraiser could instead spiral into something far more explosive. Gabby Hernandez will make a move so bold it will leave mouths hanging open, a move born from pain, pride, and a refusal to back down. Tensions will crackle in every corner as secrets bubble dangerously close to the surface, threatening to burst open and drag old grudges into the unforgiving light. The tender, fragile connection between Chad and Kat will continue to grow, promising hope for both of their wounded hearts. But love in Salem is never easy, and their journey will be paved with doubt, guilt, and the ghosts of the past. Meanwhile, a storm brews in the Kuriakis family. Xander and Philip's bitter rivalry, fueled by resentment and decades of unresolved anger, threatens to reach a breaking point. And with Maggie caught in the middle, trying desperately to mend old wounds, the emotional stakes have never been higher. At the same time, the laughter of children at the street fair offers a poignant contrast, a reminder of innocence and joy, even as heartbreak lurks just beyond the brightly colored tents and smiling faces. Because in Salem, nothing is ever as simple as it seems. A single glance can ignite a war. A whispered secret can destroy a life. And one impulsive decision can alter the course of everything. Stay tuned, because in Days of Our Lives, no day is ever truly peaceful. Every secret cuts deeper. Every betrayal leaves a scar that never fully heals. And every heartbeat echoes with the promise of love, loss, and redemption. Thank you for watching. If you connected with this emotional roller coaster, don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash that notification bell so you never miss another Days of Our Lives spoiler. theory, or heart-wrenching moment. We'll see you in the next video, where every love story fights for survival, every rivalry burns hotter, and every twist reminds us why Days of Our Lives remains timeless.